Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel, I just share some of the thoughts, ideas that I've been thinking about, some of the things that have been going on in my life. And in today's video, I have 1 to 2 topics that I want to talk about. And basically, the first topic that I wanted to talk about is basically I've just been editing some of these videos for to be posted on the channel, and basically the ones that I edited today were videos from 139 to 142. So basically 4 videos in total, because it's 139, 140, 41, 42. So four videos in total. And basically it's really good to like kind of see the topics that I was thinking about at the time. And actually it's helping me realize that kind of like my life is kind of cyclical. And basically it reminds me of basically what I like, the topics that were important to me at that time, which was basically this applied science transition that I tried to do. And basically for a little bit I wanted to make it like to basically start making main channel videos on papers and machine learning and mathematics and stuff. But honestly, I just haven't had the bandwidth to do that. And that's completely okay. I mean, I've talked about this before here about my relationship with my main channel goals, is that I've somewhat given it up for a bit. And I'm still in the phase where I'm giving it up. I still think about it quite often, but it's just about ideas and like thinking about what I could possibly do without any pressure to make anything happen, because I don't want that pressure to stop me, to affect these videos that I'm making, and I don't want it to affect other aspects in my life. I think it's just not a priority in my life right now. But I have a feeling that now with my team change, I might get an opportunity, and I might get more bandwidth to dedicate to that, because basically I don't remember if I talked about this in the past few videos. I think maybe 3 or 4 videos. But basically I've had I've been talking to my new manager, and basically he's been telling me about how he has some plans for me to take on some machine learning related projects in the new team. And basically he explained to me that in this new team, like the way that he likes to structure things for his engineers is that he for each engineer there's one project that's their deliverable that's funded by the business that they have to deliver on, and one project that's specifically to pursue the interests of the engineer, and to learn skills with somewhat of less stressful, like less on the outcome, and actually just maximize learning and experimentation, and basically pursuing curiosity. And basically he said that he has some projects in mind for me, because he knows about my machine learning interests. And actually I had spoken to him like probably 2 years ago about trying to find a machine learning project, etc. And I think he's still very aware of it, and he knows of my interests. So I'm very happy with that. And basically, as I ramp down from on the projects from my previous team, so as I close off this final project that I have going on with my previous team and start slowly transitioning into my new team, basically there might be an opportunity for me to do this a bit more seriously and have basically do it as part of my job, and that will basically allow me to study papers more deeply, contribute or like work on machine learning stuff as part of my day job, which will be super cool, and which I can leverage to make videos on the internet to, I don't know, in many different ways. And that's what I'm excited about. And I know it's like such a long-term thing, to be honest. Like, I'm not in a rush. And for now, I'm just focusing on closing off whatever is on my plate right now, just so that I can make a clean transition from one team to the other. So yeah, for now I'm trying not to get too excited about it. But this is very cool, and the reason that I've been thinking about this is that in these videos that I was editing today, I was discussing some ideas about making main channel videos about papers and stuff, which I think I've already said, but basically I have not done it for the whole year almost. That I've been thinking about it, and that's okay, because I still think it's a valid thing to do. And as soon as, the conditions align for me to be able to go all in on that, I will. It's just basically I've had other priorities in the meantime, and I don't need to feel bad about having had other priorities. And yeah, basically I've also, one thing that also reassures me is that I've been reading a paragraph of a machine learning paper for the past at least 6 months, which somewhat grounds me and like allows me to keep reinforcing this identity on a day-to-day basis without it being too time consuming, and just mainly for the identity to keep believing in myself and in my ability to do these things, even though I don't work on them as much as I would like to. But I think it's all about patience with things, like giving time to things for them to basically come together and to work out. So yeah, I'm just being very patient and trying to be focused. And the sooner I'm able to get rid of these things that are on my plate from my previous team and like finish this project off, the sooner I'll be able to pick up projects from my new team and like some experimentation projects around machine learning and AI, which is kind of reassuring, and it's making me really happy that almost 1 year after I've attempted to make a transition to applied science and failed, but that's completely okay. I'm still very interested in that topic, and I'm not giving up, and I'm actually taking baby steps towards it, like baby steps that allow my aspirations and my identity to be aligned. And so that's something that I'm very happy with, and that I'm glad that I'm doing, which when the right opportunity presents itself will allow me to jump into it with more confidence and basically direct more attention to it without the self-doubt that I would have had if I hadn't been doing this daily reading one paragraph of a research paper per day. So yeah, very, very grateful for this, and kind of curious to see how things turn out in my new team. Of course, I'm not in a rush. I think when I say how things turn out in my new team, I'm just talking about the long-term perspective, because like when I mean long-term, it's 6 months to a year minimum. And just basically being able to be patient and consistently focus on the inputs, and then trust that I'm putting in the right inputs because of all of the exploration that I've did, of the reading, all of the information that I've gathered, and basically trusting that those combinations of inputs over a long period of time will lead to the right outputs. And that's basically what my reading and like my listening to podcasts allows me to establish, and then just be able to execute on those inputs for a really, really extended period of time. So yeah, just that just popped into my mind as I was editing this video, and I thought it would be good to just talk about this topic, since it used to be such a big part. Like I used to talk about it almost every day, and now I talk about it a little less because I'm focusing on other things, but it does not mean that I forgot about it. And it's still very much part of it's still very much something that I'm aspiring to. And yeah, hopefully, like every day I'm getting a teeny tiny bit closer to that, just by reading and being curious about some machine learning papers, even if my progress, it takes me a month to read one machine learning paper, I don't care. It might take me even more than a month, but I don't care as long as I keep doing these very, very small steps. I think further down the line, these small steps are what are going to compound into more significant results. And anyway, these small steps are very important for me to establish, to maintain this identity around machine learning and AI and mathematics. So yeah, that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is a huge shout out to this podcast episode that I listened to today on the Tim Ferris Show. It's episode 729, and it was with actor Scott. I'm gonna tell you the name. Scott Glenn. I loved this episode. I mean, I think every time I listen to episodes from people, I listen to content from people who are way, way, way older than me. I think this guy, Scott Glenn, is like 85. It's just so fascinating to me, and it's just genuinely so inspiring. And basically, from listening to him recounting some pivotal moments in his life, in his acting career, in meeting the love of his life, in basically pursuing his physical pursuits because he's very fit. It's just so inspiring, and basically so many of the aspects that are important to him in his life, like so many things that completely changed his life, happened by sheer luck. And that's the idea that I found the most interesting, is that it happened in an effortless way, because basically he just focused on being present, being in the moment, and trusting himself, and trusting that things will work out, and they did. And basically not overthinking things. And there is such playfulness in the way that he talks about these things. And every time, every time I hear about someone talk about their life in such a playful manner, I find it very, very, very cool and very inspiring. A few examples that come to mind are basically Arnold Schwarzenegger, and how much playfulness was involved in a lot of his life, and not basically earnest playfulness to some extent. And another example that comes to mind is Matthew McConaughey. Basically, I had read the memoirs for both of these men who are also actors, actually, who just happen to be also actors. So Arnold Schwarzenegger His memoir is called Total Recall, and Matthew McConaughey's memoir is called Green Lights. And it's this kind of playfulness and trust and being present in the moment and trusting your abilities to come through, to allow your intuition to let you do the right thing and not overthinking things. That's something that I'm genuinely trying to learn, because I've found that I perform at my best when I'm in flow, and to get in flow, there needs to be some playfulness involved and some basically lightness of heart to some extent, as well as just trusting yourself that you will perform when the time comes that you need to perform. And that's something that I've genuinely, I've been aware of at least for the past 5 years in my life, and that every year I'm trying to make progress towards that. I'm trying to be a little better at this playfulness, this trust in my abilities, and it's something that we can only build by acting in a way that is aligned with our values. And so that's the way that I've been gaining some ground in this pursuit to some extent. And yeah, just love this podcast episode. It was so inspiring, and I definitely think you, Rita, should re-listen to it right now, and whoever else is watching this, I think you should go check it out. It's a very, very cool podcast episode, and Tim does a great job of interviewing Scott. So yeah, it was very cool. And actually, I just, as soon as I finished it for the first time, I immediately started listening to it, because it was just such a good episode, and I added it to my must re-listen to playlist on Spotify. So yeah, I will probably go back to it at some point. And yeah, those are the two topics that I wanted to talk about for today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. You can click here to watch my previous video on this channel, so the one right before this one, or you can click here to watch my latest video on the channel. Overall, thanks again for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, night, whichever time of day it is where you are right now. Bye for now, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye.